Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, at Hungaroring. This is the last time that you are joining us here from Hungaroring for this weekend. It is the final race of the Sunday's program of the second round in the 2023 ESET Cup Series. You are joining us now for the third race of the Suzuki Swift Cup Europe, and one of the cars is spinning already on the formation lap. That is actually Martin Zellhofer making it interesting for himself, but he made a nice pirouette, very nearly avoided the Armco and is back in the formation lap. We are probably going to start the race behind a safety car, which would normally mean that this is actually not a formation lap, but this would mean that the race has already started. Either way, it's the final part of the Sunday's program that's been really packed with action, and we have got the top 8 from the results from the second race, which was on program earlier on today. We've got the top 8 reversed, which means that today's winner, Alex Sofka, is 8th on the grid, or was 8th on the grid, whereas the 8th placed Ton Knappen is the one taking pole position. And yes, the race has already begun. So the Ton Knappen is now leading from Moritz Charmey, Gaber Al-Abshi, Kamil Serafin, yesterday's race winner, and then son and dad Christoph and Martin Zellhofer, Fabian Orfandl in 7th, Alex Sofka in 8th, as already mentioned. And then to complete the top 10, you've got Christian Fuge and Fabian Di Bianchi. You just saw the pirouette performed by Martin Zellhofer once again. So Maximilian Mayer and Michael Mayer, another father-son pairing, in 11th and 12th. Marton Chutit in 13th from Lukas Niederscheider and Johannes Madertaner. Balázs Hartmann, his car needed quite a lot of repairs after the second race today, but the mechanics have done a very good job. Mechanics actually with experience from top category from the GTs. Have just met one of my friends there, Petty, so I'm saying hello to him, and he said that yeah, they did really have quite a lot of work on the car of Balázs Hartmann earlier on today. Petty previously also working on the cars of Trevor Racing. István Bernula, 17th, and that is it for the 1.4 turbo class, while the safety car is still continuing on the track for another basically reconnaissance lap. And then we've got the 1.6 class, Maciej Šupčinsky, Gábor Együtt, Gábor György, Balázs György, Vince Keller, Egon Burkus, Gábor Foraj, Zoltán Csuti, Oskar Marszalkowski and Ferenc Hartmann. We have got full course yellow, of course, because the race has been started under this behind the safety car. Yeah, that's simply to actually skip the formation lap as such, and also take a little bit more precaution to start the race with. There was also frantic action, just like in the Renault Clio. We've just seen last-minute tyre changes in the Suzuki Swift Cup field as well. On the first sight, you would have thought that all of the cars were on the wet weather tyres, but actually for the Suzukis, the soft weather tyres aren't actually slicks, but they are sort of halfway grooved, so they look like some sort of intermediates, and the cars had to be put on the full wets. So Knappen leading, well actually the safety car's leading, but among the racing drivers it is Ton Knappen leading from Charmey, Al-Abshi, Serafin, Zellhofer, Christoph and Martin, Orfandl, Sofka, Fuge and Di Bianca. That's the top 10. I believe that the conditions are pretty okay. Certainly appear to be better than they were in the Clio Cup, or at least at the beginning of the Clio Cup race. So yeah, it is wet, it's moist at places, but I don't think that there's too much standing water anywhere around the track, which means that I believe that the conditions are okay in my mind. to actually send the safety car back into the pits, which we are doing right now, and let the last rock and roll commence. So the safety car goes in, and we are racing. No headlamps really for the Suzukis, and there is immediately a fight for the race lead. Moritz Cermei immediately going for it in his predominantly yellow Swift, and he is now up into the lead of the race. Gabor Alapshi right behind them. Ton Knappen choosing the wider line in the first corner and settling now down for second. Everybody seems to be through the first corner okay. Even the 1.6 class. This is the corner number 3, and now coming up the hill towards corner number 4, the left-hander. Here a lot of tyre squeal, which also means that the amount of water on the track has now dramatically reduced. Late braking here and there into the chicane. And Ton Knappen actually falling down the order. He's had a nudge from behind, so he's now dropping down to 4th, and soon that will become 6th as further 2 cars are now passing by. So not a good opening lap for Ton Knappen, and he is being pushed all the way down through the top 10. It is Cermei leading from Al-Abshi. Kamil Serafin is now up to 3rd. Ooh, and there's going to be a touch. No, I was really very close. But through we go in the end. But look at that, there is a fight shaping up for the race lead. Cermei ahead of Al-Abshi. They only had 0.2 of a second in between them across the line. Cermei is moving across to cover off and go defensive into the first corner. Christoph Zellhofer in 3rd, Martin Zellhofer in 4th. Which now means that father is following his son. And this is the 1.6 class, and a 3-wide fight. What is it, for 4th in the category? Should be Vince Keller, Gabor Edud and Zoltan Chute. Drivers coming off, that was Gabor Edud. And one of the Swifts coming really slowly, approaching the chicane in the back part of the field. There it is, that was the white. Oh, and there's a fight now for the race lead. Still Cermei leading, but only just. And probably even been a contact from Al-Abshi. Telhofer trying to find his way past. And we've got one of the Swifts driving really, really slowly there. But there is Telhofer making his way through. Car number 110, Christoph Telhofer, is now fighting for the race lead. Is he going to get it round the outside on Moritz Chermay? Yes, he is. Beautiful maneuver. And into the lead he goes. What a stuff. What a move from Christoph Telhofer into the race lead. Al-Abshi is also through. And that means that Chermay is losing ground and dropping down the field. We've got Fabian Orfandl behind them, I believe. It's the car number 146. Yes, that is Fabian Orfandl, last year's champion. And into the first corner again they go. Hard under braking. Three wide, and there's contact. Car number 533 flying across the second corner. Oh, how did he miss all the other cars? I do not understand. What a dramatic moment that was. He was sent spinning. The cars running three wide alongside each other. That was actually Gabor Al-Abshi. And they were running three wide. There it is again, together with Chermay. And look how he just missed everybody. Oh, that was just so close. Last second, the car just swerved again and rotated again. Otherwise, he would have found himself plunging into the side of the other Swift, and that would have been a nasty crash. Look at that. There's problem for the pole sitter and a big crash for the pole sitter Tornknappen, and it's just no luck for pole sitters today. But he gets going again, so at least the car can be taken away from the scene of the crash. But that is a major, major shunt into the tyre barrier. That, of course, will have its race ended. Tornknappen, having sat on pole position, now found himself spinning. There it is. Very nearly caught it, but then the car snapped again to the other side, and that was just one too much, or one too many, shall we say. So Tornknappen at the side of the road. We've got yellow flags. We've got the safety car out once again. Race control being very cautious with the safety car, actually. So yeah, even though the car is pretty much behind the barrier, yeah, there still needs to be some clear away action done in the second sector, and that is going to get the race neutralized once again. This is the 1.6 class, currently led by Gabor Foraj from Oskar Marszalkowski and Zoltán Csuti. There's the safety car. Christoph Telhofer leading from Fabian Orfandl and his dad Martin Telhofer. Fabian Dibionka up to 4th, having started, I believe, around 10th place actually. Look at that again. He was going sideways, Tornknappen, then he caught it, but then he didn't. And that's it. Your race there. Very, very unfortunate. You know, you've got to wait so long until the very end of the day to destroy your car and go home. That's really not something, not the note that you want to end your weekend on. Definitely not a good way. So the safety car is out. We've got Christoph Telhofer leading from Fabian Orfandl and Martin Telhofer. Fabian Dibionka in 4th. His mechanics were really running very tight with time to actually put on the correct tires, but they managed to get that done. So hats off to them. Kamil Seraf in 5th, Gabor Al-Abshi in 6th, then Lukas Niederscheider, Christian Füge, Michael Mayer and Istvan Bernula making his way up to top 10 already, and Balázs Hartmann following closely in 11th. So good job from the two Hungarians on the home track after they had a contact together in race number 2, which sent them both to the bottom of the results table. Johannes Mader-Taner in 12th, behind him Maximilian Mayer, Marton Chuzi. That's it for the 1.4 turbo class, and then Gabor Foray, Zoltán Chuty, Oskar Marszalkowski, Gabor György, and the rest of the pack. Nine minutes remaining of the racing action here in Hungary. It's been a long day already. But there's actually more clear away action going on beyond the third corner. And that is actually Čermej, Moritz Čermej. He was leading the race from the start, having overtaken Ton Knappen. His car is now stranded on the outside of turn 3, and it's being cleared away by the track marshals. So both of the front row starters are now off the race and out of the race. So 7 minutes left. The race is neutralized, and I believe that we will not see much of racing action because there's still quite a lot of work to be done on clearing away the cars. There is a flatbed truck standing on the outside of the third corner with the car of Moritz Čermej being loaded on the back of it. The crashed car of Ton Knappen is... Yeah, there, look at that. What happened there? That was Moritz Čermej. That's actually the situation. One big thank you to the race edit who found that shot. But what happened there? Was that a puncture, or did his car just decided to stop it already? Or I didn't see the car wasn't damaged really, but very much, I would say. So he just went straight ahead and then stopped. Maybe front left puncture, I'm thinking, or a problem of a different kind. Maybe even broken wheel. Either way, the front end of the car itself looked okay, and the most important thing is that he's out of the race anyway, and it still will take some time to clear away his car. We've got 5 minutes left. There is the car of Ton Knappen, and he's already on his way back to the pits. Well, this is the worst. This is the worst place where you want to end your last race of the day in rain, because this is as far as you can get on the track to be walking back. So he'll be back in the pits on Monday, I believe. He's gonna have to go all the way through this valley past the go-kart track that's on the inside of the circuit, and yeah, this is a long walk back to the pits. Not what you want. But the safety car is coming in, so we will get racing again, and we should have 2 laps left, provided the race isn't neutralized once again. There we go. Still a lot to fight for, still a victory on the table. Christoph Zellhofer restarting the race with 3.5 minutes left on the clock. There we go, across the line. Behind Zellhofer, last year's champion Fabian Orfandl, from Martin Zellhofer, Fabian Di Bionca. Then Serafin, Al-Abshi, Niederscheider, Fügermeier and Bernula. Balázs Hartmann then in 11th, coming across to the outside line for the first corner. Ooh, and that was a big sideways moment for the race leader. He very nearly lost it, but somehow he's managing to stay ahead of the rest of the pack. How did he do that, I do not know. And how did he actually not lose momentum up the hill? That was a wake-up call towards the end of the race. Yeah, let's see that again. Whoa! And he was not alone in trouble. Some of the other cars are also running pretty wide. That was, I believe, Martin Zellhofer in problems, which means that he's no longer third. Is he? Yeah, no, he isn't. So it's still Christoph Zellhofer leading from Fabian Orfandl, and it should now be Di Bionca third, Serafin fourth, Al-Abshi fifth. And only then, I believe there's Martin Zellhofer. He's lost 3 places. That's not the end of the race you want to have. Al-Abshi having a look on Kamil Serafin down the inside. Running Serafin off the track in the process. Zellhofer trying to have a look on his own. He gives a little kiss, 1, 2, 3, maybe more, to Al-Abshi. They are pushing each other up the hill, and Serafin makes a terrible mistake, leaves the door open, loses 2 places in the process, and probably a further one to Lukas Niederscheider to fall down to 7th right now. Ooh, more sideways action from Al-Abshi. He's losing ground. Kamil Serafin is back, and also Niederscheider is moving up. So that was bad luck for Al-Abshi right now. But Christoph Zellhofer is still leading, and this is the last lap of the race, last lap of the weekend. Martin Zellhofer, is he now? No, he's back to P4 at least, having dropped to 6th with that big off-track moment. Ooh, and Serafin going really wide onto that green concrete, which doesn't really offer that much grip, so he's lost a little there. Balázs Hartmann on the move. Ooh, and going sideways in yet another contact with István Bernula in their respective fight for, what is it, 9th, 8th maybe? And so the time is up, and we are now bound to finish the race here in Hungary. So up the hill we go. Fabian Orfandl dropped down to third behind Fabian Di Bianca, and we've had two Polish drivers taking victories. So far it was Kamil Serafin and then Alex Sovka, but now it's going to Austria. Christoph Zellhofer takes the victory in the final race of the weekend from Fabian Di Bianca. So this time the Polish driver was only quarter of a second away from the triumph, but it is Christoph Zellhofer taking a win. Fabian Orfandl third, Martin Zellhofer in fourth, Lukas Niederscheider in fifth. From Kamil Serafin, Gabor Alapshi, Michael Mayer, Istvan Bernula, Balázs Hartmann to complete the top 10 behind them. Maximilian Mayer, Christian Füge, Johannes Madertaner and Marton Chuti actually as the last one from the 1.4 turbo class. And then you've got the Zoltán Chuti taking the win in the 1.6 category from Gábor Foraj and Gábor György. Well, we had to wait for it, but there it goes. This is the finale of the really busy and really packed second weekend of the 2023 season of the ESET Cup Series. Lots of different classes, lots of different championships, a lot to be choosing from. A couple of hairy moments really here and there through the fields, and actually 3 fields even physically, and a lot of action in the third race of the Suzuki Swift Cup Europe. More is to come from ESET Cup Series in, 3 weeks' time, in May, on the 20th and 21st in Austria at the Red Bull Ring, where the season continues. So we really hope that you've enjoyed. Oh, I just can't believe how that happened. Anyway, we really hope that you enjoyed all the racing action. There's been a lot of it. And we thank you for staying with us, for being with us. My name is Pavel Fabry. I've been your commentator for the weekend and for the season. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season and to the remaining weekends. It's nicely started, and even though that in some of the championships you might be thinking, hang on, one guy is just going to dominate it all. In a lot of them it's not actually like that, and not once do we have the situation where every race so far has been won by different drivers. So it's pretty mixed up, it's pretty packed, and pretty eventful. And unpredictable, that's the word I was looking for. So with also the rain having left the track, it is time for us to do the same. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being together with us. And with the last results table, it is from me and from the whole of the production crew, a very warm goodbye.